everyone, and welcome to NAB 2025.
Welcome back to the League of Filmmakers booth and the League of Filmmakers show at NAB 2025. This is our final interview of the day, and I am so excited to be sitting here with my friend, Graham Sheldon. Hi!
Hi, Haley. Hi, everybody.
Sometimes I am tempted to call you Graham because I spent a few years in the UK, and so now I think I'm like fancy. And Graham Sheldon. What do you like?
It happens. I mean, I do feel very fancy when you say it.
Yeah.
So I guess up to you.
It's nice. I always love adding one syllable to, anyone's name to make them feel real adored.
Yeah, good note for the folks at home. Add one syllable to everyone's name.
If you want to make someone feel fancy, one more syllable, please. It's like aluminum. They added a lot more to
They did.
Aluminum.
Yes, they did.
A lot more. Speaking of aluminum, I know that's not made of aluminum, is it?
It's actually it's partially a single block of aluminum carved over 7 hours.
Aluminum.
But it's not just aluminum.
Okay, we weren't going to start off talking Sigma.
But we can.
But really, it is so beautiful and simple and just like such a gorgeous piece of art.
Yeah.
I'll tell everyone what's up. Graham Sheldon is a director of photography, all kinds of other things. He used to be in theater. What do you act again? Would you go back to theater if you had the choice?
I love theater. I went and saw, what was the play I just saw? I saw True West like 4 days ago before coming here. I love theater. It's always a part of my soul, and honestly, it's how I interact with actors.
Yeah.
Is like speaking the theater vocab.
You gotta speak our language. Man.
Yeah. Versus the commercial, like stand here, smile. Who am I? What am I doing?
What's my motivation for smiling?
What's your action verb? Downstage left.
What's my motivation?
I love theater.
Also, Graham is an ambassador for Sigma, and that's really how we met.
Yeah.
I wanted to do an interview with someone from Sigma, and you must have been just standing at the booth because I was running around begging people, and I think, did we have something planned or did they just point to you?
No, we had something planned.
Nice.
I wasn't just like a fan out in the seating.
We planned it. We did
It was planned.
And you gave me a really great demo.
Yeah, I think so.
We were there,
that's
we
right.
were in the pop-up tent, just sweating because it's so hot.
I remember this, yes.
And you gave me a really nice demo, and I was like, yep, feeling good about that. And now you've got something else really cool to show me.
Should we talk about this Sigma BF?
From Sigma.
Sigma BF camera.
Okay.
The BF part comes from actually a Japanese poem, which I am not going to memorize and quote out loud here today. But
you can find it somewhere.
It's out there, Google it. But elegant simplicity is how I would personally define it, and a one USB-C port on the side.
And that's all you need.
Well, you can swap out the batteries, and that's all you need. L-mount, H.264, H.265, you have L-log, you have Leica L-log in there, and it's just really fun to shoot with. I mean, you see there's like a little handle on the side that you can kind of grip a little bit, and then the majority of all the controls you need to do are from this like center wheel. You can change everything from here.
Turn it around.
Power button. Boom. There you go.
This is the center wheel he's talking about.
Yeah, right.
Everything happens
right
from here.
there.
What does this do?
That's just a little grip.
It's just a whole.
Yeah, well, hang on to it. Yeah, feel it. Feels good, right?
That feels really good because I will tell you, this is quite heavy.
Is it? It's 0.8 of a pound.
I mean, it feels like a nice, sexy,
it's a good weight.
Expensive brick, and it's like beautiful and sleek. And I want to show them the front.
I mean, isn't that just beautiful?
Like, I feel like this is. I've never seen anything like this because I think that cameras for my whole life have had like a green play button and a red record button. It's black and silver. That's all you're gonna get, and it's art. It's art.
They did such a good job with this at the global office back in Japan. I mean, and honestly, I've been walking around NAB, and 100% of people have asked me about it, which is, I think, a really good sign. It's just a camera that you love shooting with and you love bringing with you everywhere you go. And yeah, the silver finish on this is just absurdly cool.
So pretty.
And
So that's
you said it was a little bit expensive looking. It's only $2,000. So
look,
affordable for some.
In the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about like cameras and like,
Yeah.
it's pretty decent.
Thank you.
Is it
Pretty decent? You heard it here.
Is it also I know that Sigma likes to do, you can do everything from this little guy. Is it
Yeah.
also a cinema camera?
Yeah, so you get H.264 codecs, you get H.265, you get log if you want it. It records internally to a super speedy 230 gigabyte internal drive, which offloads very, very fast. So, for me, it's like the perfect runaround hybrid camera.
Yes. Very cool. And that's the cool new sexy thing, right?
Yep, that's the cool new sexy thing from Sigma that everyone is pumped
Amazing.
about here at NAB.
What else are you pumped at NAB?
Yeah.
Did they just launch?
Just launched, yeah. The BF,
I
the
see.
BF is coming out April 22nd in North America. So this, depending on what time you see this, April 22nd, 2025, you might already be able to pre-order, or at least purchase the Sigma BF.
So you get to carry it around.
I get to carry it
before
around.
everybody else. Very
I do.
fancy of you.
It is an honor. One of the nice things about being an ambassador for Sigma, there is an understanding that all jobs, I'm saying writ large on planet Earth, may or may not be best served by a Sigma product. They get that. I will say that 95% of them are for me. So oftentimes I'm able to accomplish whatever the project is with a Sigma product.
That is so.
They're very, very cool about that, I will say. But because Sigma lenses tend to be, neutral color cast,
Yes.
sharp from edge to edge. There's a lot,
clean is
very
what I've
clean,
learned.
unified front diameter, easy to attach accessories to. I think of them as a platform in the sense that I can add filtration to them, soften the image if I want. I could get a little cheeky, add some kind of flares, low-con filters. I mean, the options are endless. And when you start in a place that's already sharp, it's easier to soften the image. It's not easier to go the opposite direction. You can digitally sharpen some things, but I think it tends to look kind of gross when you digitally sharpen stuff.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you're extending your clean slate to the lens as well, which I think I've never thought of before. A lot of the time I'm like, yes, you need like a very clean sensor, right?
Yeah.
Your camera's your clean slate, and then you do your art with your lens, but it sounds like you're saying you can extend that clean slate and have a lot more control.
Well, VFX people love it. Absolutely. Yeah. Sigma's very popular with the VFX industry because of exactly what you're describing. Clean is a good way to say it. Yeah.
Cool. Do you feel like that is an important part of becoming a filmmaker now, is sharing your work on those platforms?
It's a good question. For me, there's a line between being a 100% of the time influencer and then also remembering you also then have to execute. So I walk that line kind of carefully, especially as a writer and a contributor for CineD.
Right.
So it's important for me to maintain a foothold in the industry. I'm on America's Most Wanted, the reboot right now. I'm on another wildlife show for NBC right now, while still being a contributor to sites like cined.com for tech news. And I do that because I feel like, readers, viewers at home will appreciate that when I say X thing about a product, it's because I used it in the Alps or on the helicopter or on a boat or whatever last week, or in the sand, and it worked for me in really tricky conditions.
Yeah.
And that's the case with a lot of the folks actually that contribute to CineD. Just as an organization, we're all professionals, doing this in Hollywood writ large every single day. So
it's beneficial both ways. It's beneficial to be able to give context and share your experience with people who are, reading CineD, trying to learn, trying to find their footing in the industry, but also beneficial because there are people who are seeing you doing that and taking it seriously.
Yeah. Well, that's why I appreciate what you guys do, building community, fostering community, spreading education. This is not a thing that you had to do, you know what I mean?
It's really not.
I'm hopeful that you do it because you love doing it and you like the collaborative experience. I don't want to speak for you. Collaborative experience that is filmmaking.
Right.
Is that somewhat correct? Okay, good. I do too, and that's why I like having conversations like this with you guys.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, we have to wrap it up, but right before we do that,
Okay.
I have one question, and I'm sure you probably know what it is, because it's about advice.
Okay.
Because there's a possibility that someone's watching this live stream, or they'll find it later on, and there's someone who's saying, is NAB something I should go to? Is that right for me? I want to be a DP one day, but like I can't buy anything yet. I want to grow my career. Just someone feeling a little lost, right? What kind of advice are you going to give that person at the start of their career who kind of, you know, when you first started and you just like, you didn't even know what questions to ask. It was just like, how do I do it? How do I make it realistic? What's some advice, and what are some questions they should be asking?
Wow. Yeah. So, do you find this industry kind of overwhelming? I do too sometimes. I mean, there's a tendency to kind of, you know, crazy hours. There's the potential for burnout. There's all the things we do on set, which I would call just throwing around jargon.
Yeah.
It's an extension cable. It's not you can call it a stinger, fine. But you know what I mean? But those kinds of attitudes and words just make it a confusing place to walk out of school and just show up on set and not feel super intimidated.
So it's okay that they feel that way.
Yeah.
Like we all do.
We all do.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's obviously the find a friendly person who can help you, a mentor.
Yeah.
There's that part of it. But also, your initial question was about NAB and sort of technology, and is it worth going to a place like this? It is absolutely worth going to trade shows like NAB or Cine Gear or IBC, depending where on the planet you are. But understand what you're getting out of it. The most valuable part is just being in the same space with people who love similar things to you. You're not going there for the following reason, which I'll throw out. If I get this camera plus this lens, my movie will sell to Netflix. That just isn't true.
Yeah.
Everything should be story driven. Every decision we make, technology services story. Mm-hmm. So I also say, you know, enjoy trade shows, meet like-minded individuals, but go to film festivals too and make filmmakers, you know, meet filmmakers and hopefully, ideally collaborate with them in the future. Because one of the reasons why it's hard to break in to Hollywood is because the stakes are so high. If something happens, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars per minute. You know, if there's so why am I going to necessarily take a chance on someone I've never worked with, right? And you can see how I've now created a bubble of myself and my friends, and no one is ever going to be able to break into that. Right. So A, meet me, let's talk about it. But B, create your own bubble.
Yeah.
And work up together, collaborate together, which is something that I see you guys especially doing, because you'll grow together and you'll feel the kind of loyalty that comes from knowing every step of the way you were there with those other people in your network and how important that is. When there are issues is when people think they're going to get discovered. Like being discovered, right? Someone who's in the getting snatched out of like the food court over there as being a genius. That just doesn't happen. What's more likely to happen is what I've been describing, is that working with people that are just cool to work with, that aren't monsters, and that just don't make everyone on set feel terrible all the time. The best work happens when people feel joy in their creative endeavors, and that translates onto the screen, I guarantee you.
Yeah. Beautiful note to end on, Graham. Find your community and grow together. Gorgeous. Thank you so much for joining me. How can people find you and your work?
I'm on the various Instagrams, the Twitters of the world. Graham T.E. Sheldon in most places. Or Graham Sheldon will get you there.
Yeah, that'll do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everybody.